What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Papa Jake, and today I am back with a figure opening and review. But first, I want to get a little details cleared up here. I just changed the name and initials of the channel. From now on, this is going to be WFT, Wrestling Figure Therapy. I'm going to be your doctor, your therapist, Dr. Big Papa Jake. And I'm just going to change it up a little bit. Not going to change the content necessarily, but I am going to change the name. I was on Facebook a couple days ago. I noticed somebody else had a page called It Figures. And while that page was a lot newer than my YouTube channel, I thought, well, I'm going to take this opportunity to change it up. Name the channel WFT, Wrestling Figure Therapy, because it is just that. It's me talking about what these figures mean to me, what the wrestlers mean to me, the nostalgia that go along with it, and kind of the hunt and how it feels when you actually find something you've been looking for. So with that out of the way, welcome to Wrestling Figure Therapy. I am, again, your therapist, Big Papa Jake, and let's talk some figures. So we are going to open, unbox, and review the brand new LJN WWE Superstars, the Mattel version of the LJN. This is the Ultimate Warrior. Found him yesterday in the wild. I found the whole display. They had Bundy, they had Jesse Ventura, they had Stone Cold, they had Logan Paul, they had pretty much everything that has been released recently. I know some people are even seeing the third wave out there right now, but I have not. Obviously, I'm just catching up with the second wave. But let's open and unbox. I got two of these, so I'm going to keep one minty. I'm going to open one here. I figure it's been so long since I've opened anything, and I'm going to tear into this. I have never opened the new LJN series. I've only bought two of them. I bought the Hogan in the Series 1, and I did buy the Jesse Ventura when I found him in the wild. And finally finding the Warrior, I'm like, yeah, I got to buy two of these. So let's first talk about this figure, because I did not have the Ultimate Warrior when I was a kid. It was not one that I found. It was not one that I ever got to play with. None of my buddies had it. In fact, none of my buddies really had a lot of wrestling figures. It was kind of sad. So it was just me, having my own fig fed essentially. But I never had the Warrior and never saw it, never found it. I would have bought it. Loved the Ultimate Warrior as a kid. I mean, he wasn't one of my, he wasn't Macho Man. Macho Man was my number one favorite, but he was pretty cool. I rooted for him when he wrestled, except for when he wrestled the Macho Man. I will go to my grave saying his match against Randy Macho Man Savage at Mania 7 is the greatest wrestling match I've ever seen. Not necessarily because of the moves or anything like that, but we've gone over it because of the emotions that match elicits with the retirement with Elizabeth. So, yeah, let's just kind of look at the packaging now. But the Ultimate Warrior, again, not a figure I had, so that's why I had to get him. And he certainly looks a lot like the original. There are differences I don't have. I haven't bought an older one to compare it to. But the ones I'm getting are the ones that the nostalgia's there. It looks like the old figure, and I didn't or don't have that figure. Ones like that. If they ever end up releasing the Heart Foundation, I know one of my boys out there who watches these knows that is my absolute holy grail of toys, is the Heart Foundation LJN tag team. So hopefully someday they release them here, and either A, I find them, or B, it makes them easier to order with the older ones on eBay or something. But anyway, so let's take a look at the packaging. Again, black card. Looks pretty dang close to what they used to as LJNs back in the day. You got the WWE logo, WWE Superstars. You got the Hogan, and I always saw it again. I thought it looked like Big John Studd there. Ultimate Warrior, the LJN Rainbow. Mattel did a great job getting this line. I mean, they really did a fantastic job with the nostalgia of it and getting all the little details right. It's got the poster. Had a very proud moment when I went out to the store. I had looked it up we were camping about an hour away, and I had looked it up online just on a whim to see the closest Target, and there was a Target 20 minutes away, so I happened to look and see if they had this in stock. Lo and behold, they showed 3 in stock. Now that's happened to me before where I'd go there and they weren't in stock, but this was there. Anyway, so the whole family jumped in the truck and we went out to Target, took a break from our camping trip. The wifey was okay with it. I was like, awesome. So me and my son were looking all over for him. We couldn't find him. Finally, we found the whole display on an end cap, almost completely out of the toy aisle. I was starting to get a little nervous. I'm like, oh, they did it to me again. Showing in stock, don't have it. So my son looks at me when I said, should I get 2? He said, absolutely. He goes, you can open one. And he goes, Dad, when you open one, I want the poster. So I know my boy is listening. He watches my YouTube channel. He gives me grief sometime for it, that it's cringe. But nonetheless, for my boy, this poster can go up in your room. So no worries, you got it. Made me proud that you even asked if you could have it. So let's take a look at the back here. We got the cross cell. There you see the Warrior, Jesse the Body. You got Stone Cold, my boy Bundy. As it said, that's a certified weapon. That thing's heavier than heck. I'm told that the Mattel LJN version is not heavy, that it's not like the dense rubber, but we'll find out because, again, I have not opened one of these. Got John Cena, Logan Paul, Dusty Rhodes, The American Dream, and, of course, Hogan. Like I said, Hogan, Warrior, and Jesse are now off my list. And right now, release, that's all I'm going to do. I will say, of some of the new releases that I've heard coming out, I'm gonna get the Piper. They just released some of the other ones that I'm probably gonna go through. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I was just talking about the other day. I know there's a Mr. Perfect coming. And, it's Mr. Perfect. It's the $1 Million Man. Definitely got to get the $1 Million Man. Mr. Perfect was a good-looking figure from the picture I saw, but the $1 Million Man had that nostalgia. Mr. Perfect didn't have a LJN figure, so I'm like, I don't think I need that one. I have Mr. Perfect figures in my collection. So $1 Million Man, however, I did not have that LJN, and I need to have that. So let's take a look at the card. Of course, you got the collector's cards. I did cut these out and collect them as a kid. And it says, smash them, slam them, wrestle them. You can collect them all. Let's read what they say about the Ultimate Warrior. Again, no matter what you think about his wrestling acumen, no matter what you think about his personality backstage, and I know he was problematic from everyone's discussions, he was a bona fide superstar for the time he was there. Ultimate Warrior lives for battle and thrives on confrontation. One of the most unique individuals ever to enter WWE, with a physique chiseled from stone, face covered with war paint, and pendants dangling from his massive arms and legs. The Ultimate Warrior blends power moves with exceptional speed to gain a victory. And that he did. You know, he rocketed right up to the top. Intercontinental champion before you even knew it. Heavyweight champion at WrestleMania 6. So I remember when he came out and stunned the Honky Tonk Man. Wish I could remember what Mania that was. Was that Mania 4 with the tournament? It might have been Mania 4 where I didn't know he was Intercontinental Champion that long. Maybe Mania 5. But nonetheless, Intercontinental Champion, Heavyweight Champion, so was definitely a superstar. So let's crack it open here. I have no clue. These are very dense cardboard boxes here, cardboard backing. I'm not going to try to be gentle with it because, again, I've got another one sitting upstairs, and we're just going to tear into it for time's sake and so it doesn't get too loud. But yeah, these are beefy. Let's get the poster out first. We'll take a look at that. Definitely loved the old LJN posters. Had them hanging in my room. Next to good old Farrah Fawcett. The real ones know, right? Farrah Fawcett was hanging in my room for sure. But yeah, it's I was into all kinds of stuff as a kid. So Star Wars, WWE, apparently Farrah Fawcett, all kinds of stuff. All right, let's take a look. See, And there it is. That is really cool. That's awesome. That is awesome. Tonight at the Coliseum. You gotta love that. Yep. So we will put that in a frame, and that will hang in my son's room. And now let's get the cardboard back off. Yeah, it's a good thing that they kind of knew what they were doing. They made these this cardboard a lot more stouter, so we didn't destroy the boxes, and we could definitely display them. So now I have opened up. Oh, that just feels cool. It is a little lighter than an LJN, but I've opened up Big Rubber Guys and Latuni. I don't think I've opened up Latuni, but I have Latuni. And I will say this feels a lot more like an LJN. It's more bendy. Yeah, I love that. It's not as heavy or dense, but it certainly does feel like the old ones. And this is going to be weird. You guys feel me, though. A little bit. Not rubbery like the old school, right off the boat from China, but it's got a rubbery, plasticky smell to it. Not anywhere near as bad. So let's take a look. Again, I will say when my criticism of the Ultimate Warrior figure back in the day, and I'll stick with it here, I don't think the face is accurate, but nobody cared. Nobody cared back then. This was a representation of the warrior. You played with them. This was the warrior in your fig fed, if you were lucky enough to have them. Unfortunately, like I said, I didn't. But you got the orange with the tassels. Get the warrior symbol on the boots. And again, I wish I had an old warrior to compare it to, but got the blue, yellow, and orange tassels and armbands. Yeah, that is just epic. I love this figure. I got to tell you, it is definitely bringing me back to a time that I would have just gone nuts with this thing. Him and Macho Man would have probably been tearing up my LJN ring. It would have been awesome. So, yeah, this is really... And it stands. Love that. They did a great job. Much like the Big Rubber Guys figured that out too. That we want these to stand. We want them in our case. We don't want them leaning up against something in our display case. We want them to stand. So, how do you like that? That is awesome. I got the face paint, the hair. Yeah, I'm gonna say the only thing is, isn't there something? Shouldn't there be a warrior symbol on his butt? I don't know. Some of his outfits did, some didn't. But yeah, wow, this is awesome. This is definitely. I'm glad I got two to open one because I love the fact that I can feel them and I can bend them and see what it feels like. So yep. Anyway, yeah. So I guess that's kind of the word of the day is nostalgia, man. That's. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm in awe of this figure. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Glad I opened it. Let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think of them bringing LJNs back? Do you think they're going to hurt the value? Again, I'm kind of only getting the ones like Piper. That looks like the other one. I'm only getting that one. Those ones that look like the old one. Now, I know I got Jesse the body, but that was such an improvement and not a wrestling figure that it was an announcer figure. I had to have it. I mean, I loved the way that looked. But Hogan looks almost exactly like the other Hogan. This looks like the Ultimate Warrior. There are some differences. The $1 Million Man coming out looks like that. Piper looks like. So I'm only getting those for the nostalgia. Now, do you think that hurts the resale of the older ones? Do you think there's anyone who's going to get fooled? And I'll be honest, I probably could get fooled on some of the ones that I didn't own, like this Warrior. I don't know. Well, they do have the date stamp down here, but again, until you actually get your hands on it, you don't know for sure. Hey, I've got the original, 1985, 86 version. So I think that can hurt the market a little bit. I think it is going to bring values down a little bit, but that's okay. again, some of these things since COVID, I mean, the values had shot up like crazy during COVID. So I am so glad that these came out, and maybe that can bring some of the values to normalize. I shudder every time I think of the ones I sold at a rummage sale, and for $1 a piece, and here they are going for hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars. And man, would I like that Heart Foundation tag team set, and I know it's ungodly. So nonetheless, excuse me, boy, keeping me up past my bedtime apparently, and it's only 6 o'clock. Let's just end this by saying, guys, don't sleep on these. These are fun. If you're going to open them, and I want to keep them minty, believe me, but I think I'm going to get a few more to open because they just feel really cool. Again, they're more than the big rubber guys. They're bendy. The big rubber guys, when I opened up, I think I opened up the Road Warriors, they felt like a ceramic, statue. They didn't feel like a rubber toy. So I like the way these feel. I like the way they look. I'm not going to open my Hogan. I'm not going to open my Jesse Ventura. But I might start doubling up on it a little bit on the ones that I don't have in my collection to go with my original LJNs like this one. So, let me know what else you're hunting for. Right now, my hunt is kind of off until I see some things out there. Is like I mentioned, the NWO 3-pack with Hall, Nash, and Hogan from Bash at the Beach. What else am I going to be hunting after? I'm definitely going to be hunting after a couple of the new LJNs when they come out. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the Legends figures lately to see what's out there. Again, I mentioned, I think last opening, I mentioned the Saturday night's main event line, the Hillbilly Jim figure. I'm going to be out for that. So there's a few things out there that I'll be looking for. But other than that, throw me a like and subscribe. Mention on the comments below what you think of the LJNs, what you're out hunting for, and why you like wrestling figures to begin with, or why you got back into them, or why you're not into them but used to be, or whatever your deal is with wrestling figures, and how they affect your everyday life. I'll tell you, it's an obsession that I've been back into. I was in as a kid. I've been back into it since 2018, I think. I pulled some of my old figures out of collection. I maybe had 3 or 4. Oh, good. Oh, I can't help it. 3 or 4 of my old figures out. And then all of a sudden I just started collecting new ones. So it gave me a whole new perspective, and it actually got me back into watching wrestling today. So, let me know what you got and what you think. Otherwise, we've been pretty long on this video, but I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully, I will be coming back with that Mr. Fuji review. It won't be an unboxing, Mr. Fuji review. And I think as of now, that'll be it for a while. And again, these are going to be few and far in between because I am going to be relocating, so I'm not going to want a lot of clutter. I'm going to pack up the ones that I have sitting out. I have maybe a handful out that my recent purchases I got to pack up and get into storage with the rest of my figures. But yeah, I appreciate you watching. Throw me a like and subscribe. For the Ultimate Warrior, for your therapist, Big Papa Jake, thank you for watching Wrestling Figure Therapy. Deuces.